Hello and welcome to our YouTube channel, Rubal Solutions. In this channel, we focus on giving definite information regarding various topics which covers computer related stuffs for kids from class 1 to 9, programming languages like C, Java, Python, C++, and many more coming in future. Objective question and answers, moral stories, some cultural religious facts, which includes motivational stuff around like Osho, daily positive thoughts, Kabir Dohe, and Mata Rani Navratri stories. We really hope you check our playlist section for the things mentioned above. We have really worked upon our playlist section. Today's topic of video is difference between virus and worm. While discussing the difference between virus and worm, it is important to first understand the larger category of malicious, malicious programs called malware. Malware can be defined as a special kind of code or application specifically developed to harm electronic devices or the people using the devices. Viruses and worms are both types of malware. However, there are significant differences between them. In this article, we are discussing the significant differences between viruses and worms. Let's first understand both with the differences. What is a virus? According to the definition, a virus is a program developed using malicious code with a nature that links itself to executable files and propagate device to device. Viruses are transferred through the downloaded files and the shared files. They can also be attacked with the scripting program and non-executable files like images, documents, etc. However, the virus remains dormant even after arriving on the device with the infected files. After the user executes the infected program, the virus gets activated and starts replicating further on its own. Viruses can harm the system by following means: filling up the disk space unnecessarily, formatting the hard disk drive automatically, making the system slow, modify or delete personal data or system files, stealing sensitive data. How does a virus spread? The virus does not have the capability of spreading itself. It requires the host and human support to spread. The virus is developed such a way that it attacks itself to the executable files. It further spreads when the infected executable files or the software is transferred from one device to another. As soon as the human launches the infected file or a program, the virus starts replicating itself. Typically, the infected program continues to work normally even after the viral infection. However, some viruses can override all the infected program files, destroying the particular program altogether. Besides, the virus attaches itself to new executable files and repeat the entire vicious cycle all over again. This is the reason why viruses spread at the slower speed. Usually the viruses are transferred using collaboration, apps, email attachment, network shares, hard drives, and USB flash drive. What is a worm? Worms are the type of virus that can self-replicate and travel from device to device using a computer network. That means worms don't need any host to spread. They are standalone computer malware that doesn't even require human support to execute. Usually, worms use computer networks by exploiting vulnerabilities, and that makes them spread more quickly. Besides, worms stay within the memory of an infected computer, making a computer think they are part of the system files. This helps worms to avoid any suspicious detection. Unlike a typical virus, worms don't harm the system data. Instead, they tend to consume system resources like CPU, memory, or network bandwidth and make the entire system or network crash. Because of self-replicating nature, worms can even disrupt systems in the series worldwide using networks. How does a worm spread? Unlike viruses, worms does not require host to spread. This means the worm do not attach themselves with the executive files or programs. Instead, worms find a weak spot in the system and enter through a vulnerability in the network. Before we detect and remove worms from a system, they replicate and spread automatically and consume all network bandwidth. This can result in the failure of entire network and web servers. Because worm can spread automatically, their spreading speed is comparatively faster than other malware. Apart from this, worms can reach other networks that are attached to the infected system. The most dangerous thing is that the worm can send themselves into other systems using email services. Key difference between virus and the worm. Few key difference between virus and the worms are: worms usually spread using computer network, whereas viruses यहाँ पे pause नहीं है ना बटन. Worms usually spread using a computer network, whereas viruses use executable file to spread from one system to other. Worms can automatically replicate to different systems, while viruses require human action to replicate. The spreading speed of viruses is comparatively slower than worms. Because worms can replicate automatically, they spread at the much faster speed. The viruses are designed to corrupt, delete, or modify the target device's data or software, whereas worms don't harm the stored data but aim to harm the resources. Viruses are found in executable files or can attach themselves to executable files to operate on the target devices, whereas worms remain independent in an infected device memory. The viruses require hosts to spread from one device to another. Worms, on the other side, don't need any host. Viruses usually destroy and damage the stored data, whereas worms can harm the entire network by using maximum resources. For example, by consuming bandwidth, sending mass emails, or deleting or copying files in the bulk. Major differences between virus and the worms are: the nature of virus. The virus is missing malicious program attached to the executable file so that it can spread from one system to another. A worm is a program made of malicious code that replicates itself and propagates itself from device to device using using a network. Human action. Human action is required for the viruses. Without human help, they cannot execute and spread. Human action. Human action is required for viruses. Without human help, they cannot execute and spread. Human action is not required for the worms. They are designed and developed in such a way that they can automatically execute and spread. The virus spreads at the relatively slower speed than a worm. Worm spreading speed is faster and they can infect multiple devices or networks quickly. The host is required to spread viruses. Viruses connect themselves to the host and travel with the host. They spread into devices where the host reaches. The host is not necessary for the worms to replicate from one device to another. Worms exploit the vulnerability of network to spread. To protect the devices from viruses, the user must have installed trusted antivirus software. To protect the devices from worms, the user is required to use antivirus software and a firewall. Many modern antivirus software come with an inbuilt firewall system. Malware removal. To clean the virus's infection or stop spreading it further, the user must scan the devices using antivirus software and remove the infected files. Sometimes formatting an entire system is only option to remove the infection completely. To remove the worm infection, the user needs a virus removal tool. Also, user must allow only trusted software through a firewall to eliminate the chances of spreading worms. In a complex situation, formatting the system is the best option. Consequences. Viruses can corrupt, alter, or delete the stored files or programs in the infected devices. Worms do not harm stored files or software. Instead, they consume system resource and increase the system's load. This eventually leads to slow processing and system crash. Also, it can result in network failures. Which is more dangerous? The impact of viruses and worms can be mild to serve. Both are developed to harm the computer and other devices. They can steal and damage the data of individuals, organizations, and government institutions. However, worms seem to look more dangerous because of their self replicating nature. Also, they can spread faster than viruses. Worms can silently spread into multiple devices by detecting the vulnerability and then insert themselves by exploiting that vulnerability. For instance, let's assume that a worm has attacked us. A worm will infect our emails and transfer itself to all our contacts. It can further replicate itself and spread to all our contacts. By doing this, a worm can create an infinite cycle with huge potential that how the sources, how to be safe from virus and worms. Viruses and worms can cause several damage. You can be safe from them by proactive update, ad blocker, authorized store monitoring. Please read, guys. I'm little tired right now, so I'm not reading it. Please read from the screen. I'm giving you 10 seconds to read the screen. Please read the file. Okay, you can stop the screen here and read. And we have compiled this video on the basis of our knowledge we get after studying and analyzing from various platforms and regarding this topic. We really hope you receive knowledge, and in the end, last but not the least, please do like, comment, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel, that is Rubal Solutions. We will be posting more and more in the near future. Love, love. Have a nice day. Be kind. Be safe, everyone. Thank you, thank you, thank you.